Hello, my name is Laurie Sharp, and I'd like to tell you a bit about me and my journey to bettering lives in Africa, and maybe how you can help too. Up until a couple years ago, I was working in a lab. I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, and I worked as an analytical chemist for 10 years. And most of those 10 years, I felt like I was on the right path, the path I was supposed to be on. But I decided at the end of 2013 that I wanted to stop being a chemist and move to an African country to help in some way. I did not know what country, and I did not know in what way I was going to help, but I knew that I had to do it. Right about that time, I had heard an American girl speak at my church about teaching English in South Sudan, which she had done for several years. And whatever she said, it flipped a switch in my heart. Now, that wasn't the first time that I was interested in Africa. I had been interested for decades, and even in 2007, I had applied to the Peace Corps to teach in sub-Saharan Africa. But unfortunately, it didn't work out, and it kind of dashed my dreams a little bit, but I still had that dream. And so when this girl spoke, I was completely primed and ready to change my life. It brought up all these old daydreams and fantasies and research that I had done in 2007, and it brought up a desire for Africa that was so powerful that I couldn't fight it or ignore it. I just knew I had to go down that path. It took me a while to get to Africa because I didn't know how to get there. But God sent me a lot of awesome people and ideas and organizations that helped me and encouraged me toward my vision of working and living in Africa. As I planned for the first trip, I ended up planning a 6-month trip in 3 different countries: Liberia, Uganda, and Kenya. And it was amazing. My trip was from December 2015 to June 2016. And I basically designed the whole trip myself. The first 3 weeks when I was in Liberia, I was with people I knew, with an organization called Love Lights the Way that I had been working with in New England. And that was great. But for the next 5 months and 1 week, I was by myself in Uganda and Kenya. And I tell you, I learned so much during my first African trip. Just amazing. And I wish I could tell you, every story, but that's a whole book long, I had learned lessons on how to make the world a better place, about African cultures, about God, myself, people, love, fear, and who I'm becoming and who I want to be. And really, I'm still learning many of those lessons that started in Africa. And I can't wait to see how they turn out. And I can't wait to see how God reveals His plan to me. But I am also enjoying the journey. There are so many needs that Africa has, and each community has a different set of needs, but unfortunately a lot of those needs are common. And I'm not going into this thinking that I have answers. I'm not going into this thinking that I can solve major problems off the bat. I am coming in there with a very open mind. I am a great problem solver. I'm a great researcher. I'm very resourceful, and I'm eager to find solutions. I'm innovative, and I am a great listener. I'm learning from the locals and from veteran, nonprofit, and development workers to see what really is the best way to end poverty. That's really my calling in general is to poverty alleviation, I feel at this time. So I do know that I'm interested in training and teaching, mentoring, encouraging, and helping to alleviate poverty. Things like literacy, computer skills, arts and crafts, recycling, and English lessons are all things that I'm interested in, but new things probably will arise. So the thing is, just because I was born in the U.S., I had better access to many things. I had people in my life that encouraged me and to try new things, to work outside the box, and that I could accomplish anything I wanted. I also went to a great public school in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I had access to food and medical care. I was able to go to a good university and get good paying jobs after I graduated. And why is that? If I had been born in Liberia, my life would be very different. Or any other underdeveloped country. How would my life be different? Would I be able to go to school at all? Many children can't even go to school. They're not allowed to. Maybe the family can't afford it. Or maybe there are none near where they live. Or maybe the teachers aren't getting paid enough, so the teachers don't want to go to work anymore. I just think, what about the orphans who don't have anyone to encourage them? Or the millions of children in the world that don't have access to education? What about the family that has to pay 75% of their household income to send their kids to school? And even those schools aren't nearly as good as what we have. And, how is that fair? I know life's not fair and the world's not fair, but I personally want to share what God has given me with those who didn't have the privilege that I had. And I don't think that God gives us what He does for us to be selfish or to make sure we have a better car or better purse than our neighbor. I know He didn't. So that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, is because I feel honored to have received what I have, and I want to give it to people who could use it. Today, I do not even know where I'm going to in Africa exactly. I would love to go to Kenya, but I might end up in Malawi or even some other country. Anything could happen. And I would love to eventually find a steady job that I can stay somewhere long term. And that's probably not going to happen right off the bat, and I'm currently applying for some paid jobs, but due to the fact that I'm early in this career path, I'm also applying for internships and volunteer positions to help boost up my resume and to learn some more things. In the cases of the internships and the volunteer positions, I would not be paid, and in some cases I might even have to pay a small fee. My housing will need to be covered, but thankfully that might be around $100 a month, which is great. I also have to pay for health insurance, and that would be about $150 a month. So the thing that I'm doing right now is definitely a leap of faith. But I know it's the right thing to do, and I'm following that call. It is not easy, and my whole last year was a leap of faith. From when I quit my job in November 2015 and gave up my Massachusetts apartment and friends and life, and when I traveled all over Africa and entered into a completely new situations, not knowing what the future is, going to be in an extremely literal sense. But it all worked out, and it's still working out, and I believe it will continue to work out. God provided for me every time in Africa, even when there were times when it seemed like it might not work out. And God's providing for me here in Nebraska, where I feel even more like a fish out of water than I did in Africa. And I'm praying a lot about making the best decision, about going to the right place and joining the right group. Chances are that wherever I go first might not be the long-term solution or situation, but I am okay with that. I might do several 6-month stints in different countries. I'm okay with going with the flow, and that's one thing I'm still learning from Africa, is going with the flow is the best way to do it. And right now I'm building up my resume, and it's just hard to say, but I do know I'm supposed to go to Africa, and that things will be revealed to me as time progresses. So I have a little bit of money from my past job and my current jobs in Lincoln. And I've been working really hard to, save my money and raise money. And unfortunately, I can't really do this leap of faith by myself. I need support financially and spiritually. I'm putting together a prayer team because there were times in Africa when I felt like I was surviving on prayers. And I'm also doing a fundraising drive. I want to raise $6,000 to help support my first year in Africa. This money is going to go towards my plane tickets, health insurance, accommodations in Africa, food, things I need like water and toilet paper and soap. And, I will use the money to help too as needs arise. And on my last trip that I did donate various amounts to needy families or different situations where I helped out people with some needs. And I will do that again in the future. Especially if and when I do get a paid job, I will be putting more of your support towards the local needs because that's my mission, is to share with Africa what we have in the U.S. So, if you do give to me, you do not have to walk away empty-handed, because I have a lot of arts and crafts on my website at lauriegoestoafrica.com/shop. I have many different things. I can show you some things now. I have this lovely picture of Mr. David Duchovny that I drew back in 2004 when I was madly infatuated with the man. And that's for sale, along with some similar art and some other types of art. I also have these called bag bags. Well, what's a bag bag? This is going to hang somewhere, and what you put inside are plastic bags that you get from the grocery store. So you go to the grocery store, you have all these bags. What do you do with them? You can put them in this beautiful, decorative African fabric bag. And then when it comes time to need a plastic bag, you can just pull it out the bottom and you're ready to go. These are made from fabric that I picked up in Africa. This one in particular is from Kenya, and then I sewed them. But I do have about 3 other African fabric patterns of bags on my website. I also have greeting cards and little drawings and some African stuff like some jewelry and some knickknacks that I brought back from Africa. Eventually, I might be interested in getting involved with local African artists to try to sell African arts and crafts here in the States and online. Alright, so some other ways that you can help me. You could certainly write me a check. That would be amazing. And if you private message me and tell me that that's what you want to do, or you can email me, Laurie at lauriegoestoafrica.com, then I can send you my mailing address, and you can go ahead and send that to me. Also, I can accept money by PayPal, which is super awesome and super easy. And what you do is you go to your PayPal account, and there's an option that says send money to friends or family. And you can choose that and put in my email, Laurie at lauriegoestoafrica.com. You can send me money that way. Another way is on my website, there's a page called Assist, lauriegoestoafrica.com/assist. At the very bottom of that page is a link that can help you very easily send money by PayPal to me. So, I am so excited about the future. I am so excited about Africa. I love it. I thought I was going to love it before I went, and I loved it, and I still love it, and I still know that I got to get back there and make some more things happen. So I really appreciate and I'm so grateful to the people who helped sponsor me and fund me this last time I went. And it just, I probably couldn't do it if I didn't have that help. So I thank you so much. And again, I need your support, and I appreciate your support, and I'm just so happy that, I get to make this difference in Africa, but I'm so happy that people believe in me and that they also want to help me with this too. So I thank you so much. If you have any questions or you want to tell me anything, go ahead and leave a message or email me or whatever. Definitely check out my website, lauriegoestoafrica.com, and also my Facebook page, which is Laurie Goes to Africa. And thank you so much for listening, and God bless you, and see you later.